Hi everyone, I'm Allison Gurkowski, the Director of Communication and Sensory Applications here at HCD.
And I'm Michelle Nigella, a PhD in Behavioral Neuroscience and VP of Research and Innovation, also at HCD.
Welcome to our YouTube page. We're going to be posting content monthly about industry relevant topics, and today what we're going to be talking about is brand harmony. So, Michelle.
Yes?
What exactly is brand harmony?
Good question. So brand harmony is an actual word that's used a lot in marketing. So traditionally, brand harmony has to do with sort of the harmonization across all your marketing platforms to make sure that your brand image matches your TV ads, matches your packaging, that it all works together to make a cohesive message to your consumers.
Now that seems pretty obvious, right?
Sure.
But how did this really come to life within HCD?
So it's definitely something that we deal with all of the time. As consultants that work for companies that make products or maybe make ads, we often deal with the silos that are within those companies a lot, and we have found that a lot of times we end up playing that middleman between the two, so like between marketing and the product design people or the R&D people. And so we found that a lot of our work really had to do with making sure that products that were being designed actually matched well with the marketing messages that we were also testing on the other end. And so it just kind of really, came together very organically for us to say, not only should brand harmony have to do with the marketing mix, but also with how the product matches that marketing mix.
Now, our favorite term is it depends.
Yeah.
And I know the answer to this is going to be it depends, but when we're thinking about this idea of harmony, how do we actually accomplish testing whether your product is really meeting its promise?
Sure. So, that's something that we've always tried to cater to what the client wants, when we do product testing. But what we've learned to do now is sort of a combination between, psychological tools and traditional market research to first test what the brand image is. So if we use like implicit research, which we can talk about some other time, but if we use like implicit research to look at consumers' perceptions of the brand, and then use that same approach to look at the perceptions of the product experience, maybe smelling the shampoo or tasting the yogurt or whatever it might be, and making sure that there's alignment there. So if somebody feels that the brand is a healthy brand, well, when they taste the product, they should also get that perception of healthy.
And we're talking about how, the brand teams and product development, they're often working in their own silos and not speaking to each other. So without changing, the fundamental corporate structure of some of our clients, how can we really work together with both of those teams to help create this harmony without completely, exploiting or changing a corporate structure?
Yeah, and I think that's the challenge for us because, sometimes we luck out and it happens to be groups that work really well together, and they work from the very beginning. In other cases, they're in complete silos. And so what we try to do is work with whichever side that we're working with to bring up these issues and make recommendations to run the research a certain way when we do the design. So for example, if we're working with a product team, then we might ask them, we would recommend that you test the brand. Just to make sure that, this awesome product that you've designed, this new innovation, whatever it might be, product change, that it's actually still going to fit the brand. So we would still be testing, the product change that they're making, but we do make that recommendation. And sometimes that actually helps to sort of nudge people to start working together a little more.
Oh, that's great. So let's give an example. Let's say your product has to reduce sugar. We're following a trend to try to be more healthy, but this is an age-old brand that we have. Now, we know changing the ingredients is obviously going to change the experience that we have. How can we ensure this brand harmony when we're thinking about this product renovation?
Well, one thing that we know from sensory research is that it is really important for a product to stay in what's called signature, right? So what your expectations are for when you bite into this product, it should be what you expect, right? So that's the signature. And so we need to make sure, even if you change the ingredients and even if you communicated those changes, it still needs to fit the idea of what the product should be. You know, so if you're the person that eats Snickers every day, or maybe you eat your Dannon yogurt every day, or you have this particular cereal that you eat every day, you have an idea of what your expectations are. And so those everyday users tend to know exactly when something has changed, you know? And so making sure that you're still satisfying those consumers while also making improvements to your products, that is just really key. So that is why we try to make sure that there's some sort of alignment with what those brand perceptions are, so you're not straying too far and therefore, losing your consumer base.
Great. Let's continue this conversation. Tweet us at HCD Research Inc. or at HCD Neuroscience, and follow us on Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram at HCD Research.
Thank you.